no native gas token besides Bitcoin on Rootstock. So you can deploy other tokens. We have other tokens on Rootstock, but gas is paid in Bitcoin. And this also brings us economically aligned with the Bitcoin network. Around 80% of the gas fees on the network are being paid to the Bitcoin miners. And then scalability. I think like this is, Bitcoin doesn't have the smart contracts capabilities, and that's what we bring, but we also bring faster confirmation times. So right now we're around 30 seconds. In the future, in the next year or so, we have a proposal to drop this to around 5 seconds. And then our transaction fees are around 20 cents present day. So lower transaction fee costs in the Bitcoin network, faster confirmation times as well. And so in the ecosystem, we have around 400 million in native token value locked. We've been live since 2018, 100% uptime, no security incidents. And so we're very confident and happy with the performance of the network. So you can see some of the other stats here, but happy to talk about any other questions on the state of the network. And so when we're looking at these hackathons, like what to build, ultimately, we want new ideas from you as hackers and participants in the hackathons. But these are some things that I think are kind of cool. We've seen there's a lot of decentralized gaming and bringing Bitcoin into decentralized gaming. Telegram is kind of a cool platform that we've seen a lot. The creator economy and monetizing market space and content creation is another cool theme. Memes on Bitcoin is kind of new. As of, I'm not sure how familiar you guys are, but earlier this year during the halving, a new standard called Runes was brought and launched, and that brought basically meme tokens to Bitcoin. And so bringing that into a network that's closely aligned with Bitcoin is key. Rootstock is a good home for that. Other things, on-chain governance, DAO automation, treasury automation would be really interesting to see. And then, fundamentally, the bottom one is probably I think the biggest opportunity in general to crack. Maybe, more complicated, but, how do you bring more opportunities for tapping that Bitcoin liquidity through lending and borrowing protocols and models there? And from the ecosystem, you can see some of the partners. I think from the hackathon perspective here, some of the most interesting things are on the developer tools block here. We have compatibility with basically all EVM development platforms, so Foundry, Hardhat, those types of platforms, along with third-party platforms that you see here, ThirdWeb, Alchemy, Covalent. Sebastian, after this, is going to give a quick demo on using Alchemy. I think maybe they're so recently added, we didn't even get their logo on this, but yeah. And then, so the dev tools and libraries. So, if you've built on EVM, you've probably seen some of these before, but we also have a team on site here, and please come, ask us if there's something you're looking to do, you're not familiar with how you could use these tools, come talk to us, and we're happy to work with you. And then, why build on Rootstock? So in addition to the hackathon, these are the things you can look at, post-hackathon. We have grants, so if you want to take your project forward, we have a grant program that's ongoing, and so you can submit your project and apply for the grants in here. And for this hackathon here, we have a couple tracks here. One is, looking at the best DeFi dApp on Rootstock with a $5,000 prize, and we also have you guys can scan up here later a Best Developer Feedback Award. You can also win some AirPods too. So we also have Best Use of the Rootstock blockchain. So two prize tracks here. And then the other reason or opportunity we have post-hackathon is what we call the hacktivator. And really this is looking at the question of all right, I started with Rootstock, it's kind of cool, I like it, maybe I want to take this project forward, maybe I want to do something else, but bringing you into the ecosystem, providing support and things like that. So we have a content contributor program as part of this, so this can be submitting PRs to open source repos that we have, these smaller types of lifts, into what will eventually turn into more of an accelerated type program later this year. But come engage with us. We want to support the projects and teams building within Rootstock. And so that was kind of the hacktivator. And so Sebastian's going to give us a demo here on the Alchemy. So this is one of the multiple tools we have for building your projects. He's going to walk you through the dashboard, how you get the RPC node and how to find and use that URL in one of our starter kits. So we have all these QR codes in the presentation. Come find us if you need any help on it, but I'll throw it to Sebastian.
Hello, everyone. These are the demos that we will use. In this case, we will go through very easy tutorials that we have in our developer page. So you will have a front-end demo, which is a very easy-to-go tool for implementing a very easy and fast wallet connection with Rootstock. Also, we have a hard hat demo, which can be also easily used for deploying and verifying your smart contract in case you need, right? So first of all, I would like to ask how many of you are hackers and are familiar with Solidity? And which ones are familiar with front-end integration and all that stuff? Okay, very nice. So you will find this at the end, or if you want later, go to our stand and we can share these links for you. Are very easy to go. So the first one we will check is the hard hat starter kit. But lastly, we had a partnership with, let me search here, sorry. As Lancen said, we have a recently partnership with Alchemy. So we are now included into their RPC API services. So you can find easily this tool, which is very important in order to interact with the blockchain, right? You can just create your RPC API in very few minutes, and you can use that for interacting with the blockchain. We will see this in a moment. The only way you have to do is create your dApp here and go to the networks, and depending on the on the network that you will use, you can just pick which one you need, right? So you just copy. In this case, we will be working in two different GitHub repositories, as I told you before. The first one is this. Let me put this bigger. Is the hard hat starter kit. You will find here some examples of smart contracts that you can just deploy in very few minutes. We have some common standards like 721 or ERC20. And let me show the example. In this case, for matters of time, I have already cloned this repository in my computer. So when you start interacting with it, you can run different command lines that make it easy to interact with it, right? So, for example, if you use this one, which is a hard hat command, will help you deploy any smart contract that you have. In this case, we are deploying an ERC20 standard in a very fast way. If you go to the code, when you check it, you will find some deploy examples where you will see some of the parameters of the constructor or any configuration you need to do for this, right? So in this case, we will just deploy an ERC20 smart contract in Rootstock testnet. For that, what I did was I took the RPC API from Alchemy for testnet and pasted it here for my on my end file. So hard hat will take this RPC URL in order to deploy the smart contract to the blockchain, right? So whenever you put it here, you also need your private key. Don't worry, this is a Bornet one, so no rush. You will need this information in order to be able to deploy this smart contract and verify, right? So it's as easy as you copy or paste this command, and you will be deploying your smart contract. After this, you can just run another command in order to verify the smart contract. In this case, as this contract is an ERC20, you need to indicate the command line interface, which network do you need to deploy on, which is the address of the smart contract you need to verify, which are the parameters for the constructor that you use to deploy the smart contract in order to verify. If you have done this before, this kind of painful step in the smart contract development, the way to verify a smart contract, right? So this tools makes very easy to do this, right? So in this case, you just run the command, and in this case, as this was already verified, you can just interact with it. This is the first example. You will find all the information in the hard hat config. In this case, we used for verification. This is a very important part of the tool, the API URL that is used for verification. Normally that is the point where it becomes very hard to interact with these kind of verifications. So we use a tool from Block Scout to do this kind of verifications, which makes it very easy to go and follow. So when you have already your smart contract deployed and verified, the next step that you need to go through is the front-end integration, right? There is a tool that I love to use, which is named RainbowKit. I don't know if you are familiar with this tool. It's a very interesting tool because this one gives you a really big abstraction of how do you communicate your front end with your wallet, right? So this gives you some very nice buttons like this one and provides you this service. So in the example I was showing here before, we have another public repository called Rootstock RainbowKit, which is already completed with this example. So you can just check it's public, take in account that we have one branch called main and another branch called completed. So in the completed one, you will find the complete exercise. For matters of time, in this exercise, I will just show you the completed example, in which a very important point here is how you configure your network to be working with your front end, right? So in the main file of your dApp, you will find that this is wrapped into a WAGMI provider, right? And this one has a config file. Inside of this config file, you will find the general configuration for WAGMI and RainbowKit in order to know, hey, which network will you use to connect your dApp. So in here, by using the WAGMI chains library, you can find your networks, any network you need. For example, if you use Rootstock, this will be the mainnet, and Rootstock testnet will be the one that we will use for connecting to the testnet, right? This is an important point. Let me show the application running. 1 second. This is the dApp. So this is a very basic example of how interact with your smart contract after deployment. The basic thing is how to read and how to write information to your smart contract, right? That is the point where every developer starts checking in these kind of hackathons. So we have those two functions, and in this example, I try to show two different ways to interact with this kind of functions. One is a called hook for React. I will go there in a moment, but I will tell you what are the most important points for this interaction in this case. The first one is the contract ABI. For each interaction that you will need to do with your smart contract, the frontend needs to know what are you calling and what is the name of the function, what are the parameters that you need to call. So in here, you will find that we are using two different functions. The balance of, which is the one to read this and retrieve the balance of the user. And the other one is the function mint, right? Which will be minting tokens to that smart contract to the user. Other important thing that we have hard-coded here, but normally you will put this dynamically in some config file or in your .env file, is the contract address where you deployed your smart contract. And inside of this part, as I told you before, we have two different functions. One is handle retrieve, which is the one that we use for read the information on the smart contract. This function uses the read contract configuration from one package called WAGMI core. With this one, what you does is call an async function called read contract, pass some parameters for configuration. In this case, I pass the address of the contract, the arguments, and the name of the function you want to call. In this function, you just receive async the value that you are retrieving from the blockchain, right? But for the write contract, let me do an example here. I will just paste it. Let's mint another 100,000. In this case, I have this hash. I just will check the status of this one. It's pending. So in the meantime, I can show you. This one is another example of how to use these tools. It's write contract. This is a hook from WAGMI, and this is a reactive function. You just call the function write contract, and it's reading the status of that hook. So in any moment, the data, which we are calling here hash changes, you will receive a change immediately in that state. So you are not receiving, like in reading, the value right there, but you can use this variable just in your code. In this case, as we use it here, as soon as the variable change, it appears here in the function. So if you retrieve the balance again, you will have 5, and you have add your balance to your address. So this is a very basic example of how to interact, and you can just go to these repositories and use them, or just ask us if you need. Okay? Any question? Yes?
So kind of generally with Rootstock, do you use the same key system as Bitcoin, or is it separate?
No, it's separate. We are a sidechain on Bitcoin, so everything is EVM. So you can just create your wallets as you do in Ethereum with MetaMask or other provider, and it's just the same, but are not the same accounts that in Bitcoin. You can bridge your Bitcoin from Bitcoin to Rootstock because it's a paired token. Oh, sorry. The question was if the wallets, if the accounts work the same, if it's the same account from Bitcoin in Rootstock, right? Yes, that was the question. Sorry, I forgot that. Any other question? No? Thanks so much. Hope you, if you have any questions, you can just go there, ask us. You can scan this code if you are working on this. You can go for these AirPods, or you can go for 500 that we have for the price track, which is very interesting for the best feedback that we can have in the hackathon. Thanks so much.